I'm not sure if I even really like the word sustainability, to be honest. I mean, it's very broad. People interpret it in very different ways. I think it's very important to consider impact of the systems that we live in and understand the long-term implications of the way that we live. My name is Nathan Bombardier. I'm a current undergraduate here at the UW. I'm in the Community Environment and Planning Department. We call it CEP, and it's basically the undergraduate version of the Urban Design and Planning Department. Some of the sustainability work that I've been involved in as well, because a lot of it has to do with learning about land use especially, and the way that communities are organized and whose voices are heard in different communities, and food especially. Planning relates to urban environments, right? And urban environments only exist because of the agricultural system that we have. You know, we can't have a city without large-scale farming. They define each other. I care about people's lives in the future. You know, when I was working in high school, you know, I worked at a restaurant with a bunch of people who had immigrated from Central America. It was interesting because, you know, it's like I was working there. I knew that I would leave. I knew that it was a temporary position for me, but for a lot of my coworkers, you know, they didn't know if it was temporary or not. You know, there was an uncertainty about what their future was. I feel like that's kind of my first connection to activism in the food system. We were the same age as the kids working in these restaurants, but completely different worlds. I guess I'm still trying to figure out why that happened. Husky Real Food Challenge is the group that I am extremely invested in, and I actually joined when I was a freshman. So the same time I started working with the farm. There's a national movement to basically utilize the resources that universities have in the United States to take steps forward to addressing some of those issues, such as labor abuses, abuse of animals, environmental degradation, as well as fair labor treatment and supporting local economies. Basically, food can be real if it's either ecologically sound, fair, humane, or local, all based on third-party certifications. Real Food Challenge at UW is called Husky Real Food Challenge, and we're calling for UW to adopt a commitment. And we really want UW to commit to a tangible goal of 25% real food, according to the Real Food criteria. And this is a criteria that students support and a goal that students support. So this is a student-led movement. Husky Real Food Challenge, a really big part of our work is being involved in intersectional activism. And so I'm going to be going out with a couple other members up to Burlington, Washington this weekend. We're marching with Familias Unidas por la Justicia, which is a farm worker union that was formed last year. UW actually, Housing and Food Services, actually stopped selling the Driscoll's berries that those farm workers up in the Skagit Valley called for us to boycott. And that was a really exciting thing, and they formed a union this year because of the boycott. I really wanted UW to accountable to what its impacts are. A week ago, Real Food Challenge, we got together and we delivered a banana to President Kause, a giant cardboard banana that we made here in the RSO Resource Center. And we had attached to it a letter, talked about the colonial legacy of the banana. The idea we're trying to do here is we're trying to sit down with President Kause, because the different student governments, the RCSA, the residential student government, the graduate student government, and the undergraduate student government, they all voted to commit to real food, to commit 25% of UW's food budget to real food. But we haven't heard anything from the administrators. We feel like we need more of a commitment from our president to respond to these student government resolutions. But unfortunately, they're just not meeting with us. And so that's why we're delivering this banana. That's why we're delivering this adult diaper, you know, to represent what's wrong and what needs to change, and the fact that the president can take action herself to make that change happen here at the UW.